Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to, well, the final Halloween special for this year, Halloween 2018. So yeah, um, happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you had fun with this year's Halloween special. And today, like I said, we're getting to the final one. I'm not going to keep this on for the entire thing. I just wanted to kind of show off my Halloween costume. This wig is not staying on right. Um, but yeah. Um, so I've seen multiple of the Halloween films. I liked a few of them. I like the Rob Zombie ones, for example. Um, I like the original, and this one is supposed to be like ignoring most of them. Like from what I gather, the gist is that this is a sequel to the original while ignoring most of the others. In fact, if not all of the others. Um, they're kind of retconning everything else out of existence. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I don't know anything about it other than Jamie Lee Curtis is back and that it's a Halloween movie. So Michael Myers and all that. I don't know like the gist of what the actual story focuses on exactly. I don't know all of the details. Um, but yeah, out of all of the like classic horror franchises, you have Halloween, you have Nightmare on Elm Street, and all of that stuff. Halloween is definitely one of the better ones for me. Um, I was never a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th was always okay, but still just not quite there. Halloween always felt so much better to me. Just better written, better thought out, better characters, um, all of that jazz. So yeah, sorry by the way for the like shine on the glasses, like showing off the screen basically. Um, I don't normally even wear glasses, so it's just for this Halloween costume. Wig's not even fully right. It's just I just kind of half-assedly put it on for this. Anyway, and I'm wearing a shirt under this because I'm not going to be wearing this the entire time either. Um, I'm just wearing it for the recordings of the this and something else. But yeah, yeah. Um, I'm excited to get to this final reaction in the Halloween special, but I'm also sad that it's already over. Um, and at the end of the video, at the end of the afterthoughts, stay tuned till the very end because I will be. I was going to announce it next month, but I decided to announce it here because I guess it kind of makes sense since there's not really going to be any kind of holiday in November to announce something for. So we're going to announce it here. At the very end of the video, I'm going to announce what the holiday 2020 special is going to be. The December holiday, I should say. Um, so I'll announce that at the very end of the afterthoughts. Um, but in the meantime, we are going to get to this. Not really much else to say because I don't know exactly what to expect other than typical Halloween stuff. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in three, two, one, now. So I looked it up in between. One, yes, that was Will Patton from Remember the Titans, who played Frank. Two, the movie did fairly well, actually. It seemed that people really liked how it kind of returned to roots after all the sequels and the couple remake we had, the remake duology we had. That was the word I was looking for. Um, and so yeah, as for my thoughts, it's like it was good. It didn't do anything spectacular or anything that felt truly special to me. Um, there were definitely some surprises in it, which I appreciated. Some surprise kills that I didn't expect were going to happen. Um, Michael Myers was still effective. Um, I think one of the reasons why I like Michael Myers over other like classic horror villains like Freddy or Jason or whatnot is because he's always seemed more human than the others. Like obviously Freddy is a dream demon and everything. Like, he was human at one point, but and Jason just keeps coming back from the dead in all kinds of wacky ways. And it's like I can see the appeal behind that. It's just kind of ridiculous after a while, but I tend to like horror movie villains who have a more human aspect to them. The ones who are more creepy because you could like see that kind of thing in real life. Like Michael Myers, even though like yeah, through a lot of the sequels and stuff, he came back um when he should have died and everything. Um but he's always felt like just more of like a real life like serial killer kind of character rather than some kind of supernatural entity. He never came across, he never felt like he was like some kind of weird creature rather than a person wearing a mask. And I think I appreciate that this movie did like retcon most of this franchise by having it just like, okay, there's the original Halloween, and now this movie basically just throws away all the other movies except that. It's a sequel to the first Halloween, retconning everything else out of existence. And it continues to show Michael as human. He is a human person who feels pain. He recoils and reacts to being attacked. And his strength and feats and everything are more realistic compared to these other horror movie villains. And at the end, it kind of leaves it open to whether or not he died. And that's the one part that I feel is a little bit like teetering on the edge because it's like, yeah, he's trapped in this room, this well, basically a cage, a trap for him where he's being burned alive and everything. But then it's like it goes into another shot, then comes back and he's just gone. And there's like this post credits thing where you hear him breathing and stuff. Um, and it's like, okay, so did he really die? And it kind of leaves it open, uh, kind of to interpretation, I guess you could say. It doesn't really give us a definitive answer. Which is, like I said, that's where it kind of teeters because there should be no way he'd be able to get out of there. It was literally made to trap him, which means there would be no other exit and everything. So I don't know. It just feels like that's a little bit to where it loses me. Because everything up to that point was like great, like seeing him again wince in pain and stuff, hearing him actually grunt out whenever he's attacked and stuff. And it's like, I like that. And all of the killings also were effective because most of them came across as like a surprise. Obviously, he surprises them; they don't have time to truly react. And when they do react and are able to fight him off and stuff, like they actually have like affected him. They've done damage to him, and so it's like it makes it feel so like a lot of the kills in this movie are more realistic that way. So it's like, oh yeah, these people are just taken by surprise rather than like they know about it beforehand. Like you've seen plenty of horror movies where they see the killer coming or like are watching them come towards them, and they even have protection of some sort, but yet they still have no chance to even do anything, and it just comes across as like like they can't do anything. But it's like in here it's like no, they actually, when they do have that chance, when they do have that opportunity, when they can fight back, they do. And so I like that. But most of the kills are still a surprise, to the people at least, and they usually don't have anything to fight back with. And then there was also like the fact that the that Frank was killed by the doctor, which was really unexpected, both as a viewer and as probably from Frank's perspective. Obviously, the doctor went a little crazy himself there in all of his years of studying Michael. Um, the way it kind of ended with the sole survivors of the incident of our main characters being the three Strode women was kind of where I thought it was going after a certain point, especially after the father died. Once the father died, it's like, oh, it's going to end with the three generations of Strode women being the survivors. It's like, okay, it's like I kind of get what you're going with that, going for with that, because throughout the movie you see how Laurie had raised Karen to grow up in this kind of paranoid environment and everything, to prepare her in case Michael ever escaped, and just for the other dangers of the world and everything. And Allison was more receptive to her grandmother, but still was kind of weary about it, uh, and everything. And so it's like you see like how these three women, the Strode women, you see how their interactions and everything towards each other build throughout the entire film. And once everything really hits, once everything really happens, it's like there's no more time for them doubting each other or fighting with each other. They're completely on each other's side. And when they all reunite, they even work together. Like you see Karen fake being scared to shoot Michael, and then right after, you see like Laurie just in the shadows, and she's like, "Let's end this," and just like lunges forward at him. It's great. It's just seeing that teamwork together, because it's like, Karen was, again, she was raised like this. She knows how to defend herself, very much so. Um, it just she never wanted to. She wanted kind of a normal life, really, but she did still know, and so it shows that she still had that training in her. And Allison, while she definitely didn't get any of that, she was definitely more of the survivor in the sense of she just avoided Michael and avoided being killed enough. Um, she was more of like a survivor of fortune, I guess you could say. She was lucky to survive. She didn't actually do as much actively. She did help in the end, and she very much was integral to taking out Michael in the end. But she didn't do much throughout the entire movie, is what I'm saying. It was mostly Laurie and Karen to a lesser degree, but still. The actors were good. Obviously, obviously, we know who the star is. Jamie Lee Curtis, fantastic actress, and she really nailed it here. Um, the other actors were good. The parents were good. The father was a little weird, but I mean, the actor wasn't doing a bad job. Will Patton was great. Um, the Allison's boyfriend and the other guy, the other friend who tried to kiss her, they were a little weird. I don't know. The acting with them was a little off for me, but they were the only ones who I really felt that way about. Like even the other friend, the girl who was babysitting the kid, like she was actually really good, and the kid himself was fantastic. He was hilarious. So I even like them. It's just it was really just those two who were just, and maybe they were made to be like that. Maybe they were like written to be kind of weird, but they did very much come off as weird in their acting. Um, the soundtrack was what you would expect from a Halloween movie. Let's be honest. Like if you've ever seen any of the Halloween films, you know what to expect from the soundtrack. It's as good as it's gonna get. So, and I mean that it's a good soundtrack. It's a good horror movie soundtrack. It's classic for a reason. Um, the cinematography itself, like there were some really good shots, some really good moments. Like there's this one shot like showing Laurie looking, seeing Michael through the window and him looking back at her, and wasn't the cleanest shot. Like they could have zoomed in closer onto the window or shown him closer to the window, but I actually like the way they did it because it felt more unnerving because of the specific framing of it. By having him be further away from the window, the shot not being quite perfect, with the right range and everything, I actually really thought that was a smart decision on their part. Um, but yeah, overall, I did really enjoy this. It wasn't my favorite of this Halloween special. I will say that without question. That still goes to A Quiet Place. Um, because A Quiet Place one actually scared me, so that automatically helps. Plus, I just actually thought the movie was phenomenal. It was just such a fantastic movie. But this was still good. Um, I don't expect to be scared from these kind of movies, from like these slasher films and all. But for what it was, I still enjoyed it. I still had fun. Again, I like the characters. I like the story. I like how it retconned blatantly in the script, how it retconned the sequels and stuff, like with the entire conversation regarding Laurie being Michael's sister. Um, yeah, because I think that was in the second or third film, but I'm not actually 100% on that. If any of you know, let me know because that's going to be a little harder to look up than just like, oh, how well did this movie do? um, but yeah, well, I mean, maybe I could look it up. I don't know. It's not that big a deal either way. But the point is, it retconned a lot, and it tried to be classic, and I think that's really where a lot of the positive of this lies, is that the movie was the way it was written, the way it was acted, the way it was shot, the way it was directed, and everything about it really came across as they were trying to make a 70s slash 80s horror movie. Not like they were trying to make a horror movie in 2018 or whenever they started making this. But it felt like they were trying to make a classic 70s or 80s horror movie. It felt classic. And I think that really sold it, honestly. I think it helped it make it feel like this is a sequel to the original Halloween. And yeah, there were some things in it that, of course, it's like, oh yeah, modern technology and shit. Um, but it's like that didn't stop it from feeling classic, which is almost kind of weird because usually that would be a thing that would. um, but yeah, either way, I did very much enjoy this. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of Halloween 2018. What did you think? Let me know. And for now, thank you so much for tuning in to the 2020 Halloween special. I had a lot of fun doing these 5 weeks of horror movie reactions to movies I had never seen for one reason or another. And yeah, I saw some good movies this way, and not all of them necessarily, but some good movies. um, this I don't know. I don't know if we'll do it quite like this next year. Obviously, that's a year away to worry about that. But I do hope to have a fun Halloween special next year as well, anyways. But now here is a moment that some of you have probably been waiting for, the announcement for the holiday special. Um, so Yeah, I mentioned in the pre-thoughts that at the end here I would talk about what would be the holiday special for 2020. That will be in December. Since there's not really any kind of holiday or anything outside of Thanksgiving next month, and there's not really like a reason to have a Thanksgiving special. I mean, there's other holidays, obviously, but um, none that I know of off the top of my head. None that like my family celebrates and all. Um, I don't know what other holidays start in November. I don't know offhand. I should look that up. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna either way be announcing what the holiday special for December is. So it's gonna kind of be like this. Just because of how much I enjoyed this, we're doing something similar. Every Wednesday in December, leading up to Christmas Day, because I do celebrate Christmas. Um, every Wednesday leading up to Christmas Day, Christmas is on a Wednesday this year. We will be doing a different reaction, and then on Christmas Day we will have a review instead of a reaction, and there's a reason for that. Um, Partially because it's Christmas, and I don't want to put up a big video on Christmas Day, just personally for me. Um, so the holiday 2020 special will be a very Satoshi Kon holiday. We are going to be reacting in the 3 weeks leading up to Christmas Day, 3 different Satoshi Kon films I have not seen. And on Christmas Day itself, we'll be reviewing another one that I have already seen. And I think you can already guess what the one we'll be reviewing is, based just on the context. So let me get up my calendar real quick just so I have the dates exactly right here. I'll make another video about this to go into more detail. But let me see here. No, the 25th is on a Friday. What did I put Wednesday? Okay, so it'll be every Friday, not every Wednesday. I miswrote that. Um, but yeah, I'll go more into it. In fact, you know what? No, I'm gonna keep you waiting. I'm gonna keep you waiting. So you're not gonna find out what I'm reacting to yet. Um, and when. I'm sure some of you could probably guess based on just what I have seen and everything. But I will be making a separate video where I will announce the actual specifics for every Friday. I should type that out right now just to fix that. Leading up to Christmas Day. I think the 25th of November is on a Wednesday from what I saw, so I think that's why I made that mistake. I was looking at November instead of December. Um, but yeah, I'll make a separate video announcing all of the details. So look out for that as well. And in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.